Okay. All right. I'm going to put a warning before this, just for the heck of it. This will be slightly self-indulgent, but hopefully I can bring it back around to something a little more cogent and cognizant. I'm going to use some big terms, but hopefully those made sense. So why do I feel the way that I do about balkanization or about a general collapse? Why do I feel that way? Well, because I was raised in this time. I wasn't raised in the 1950s, as my parents were. I wasn't. You know, I was born in the 1980s. Once I grew up to working age, I I worked, at a ice cream place and realized it was a crapola job. I did, retail. I did a little bit of work in, the trades, particularly HVAC and plumbing, mostly as helpers, not any specific license work. And now I'm going to get my degree in marketing. And through all of that, it's one of those things where it's just like, it doesn't matter how hard you work. It's about how you can play the system. And that's how I learn, You tell the boss what they want to hear, and then you do something else. Sorry about that. You tell the boss what they want to hear, and then you do whatever the hell you want later on. That's something I learned, And it's something that the amount of time I've been out of jobs, it's something that's inborn in me. And I learned to say, oh, yeah, no problem. I got you, boss. And then you do something else to get them out of the way, You give them lip service, a phrase I use a lot. And kick to the curb, I use that quite a bit. Because I feel that. Because I've been kicked out of jobs for at least what I saw as silly stuff, Because I passed out too many sandwich cards at a place I used to work, they said, we're not only going to let you go, you're going to have to pay us back for that. $1,000. It's like $1,500 or something like that. Greedy motherfuckers. They felt that bad because of sandwich cards that, it's like Subway used to have, Because I was punching too many of them, they saw that as theft. So that kind of pushed me more towards a socialist element. Would I call myself, what, I'm not going to go there. What I will say, though, is that it pushed me in that direction as time went on. The time shaped people, I can disagree with, I think I've said this before in a video, but I'll say it here too, but I can absolutely 100% disagree with the ideas of someone like Emma Goldman. But I can understand, looking a little bit at her life to see how she got there. Through being beat up by her dad, holding on to these traditional Jewish beliefs that she became who she was. Now, of course, she still looks like a school marm and everything else, whatever. But I can understand why they became that way. The thing is that all those, old Bolsheviks and whatnot, they became who they were because they saw how screwed over they were by the systems that they were under, I mean, it's the same thing with people like, I don't know, bring up a character, someone like, I don't know, I'm going to have to read about it a bit more, but, a lot of these guys like the, what is his name? I was going to say, I can't think of it now. But anyway, like one of these Hungarian type leaders or something like that, their mothers had to travel back and forth between the big city and going back to their village, and coming from that sort of background. And of course, we're heading, people have said, yeah, the U.S. is headed more back towards a sort of, fiefdom type of thing, kind of a medieval sort of, I can't, oh, goddamn, my brain is gone, but more of a rural society. I can't, goddamn, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to continue on. Sorry for wasting y'all's time. But, collective, oh, man. It's still bugging me because I can't think of it. I'm sorry. I know y'all are like, oh, god damn it. Just keep going. Okay. I'm just going to keep going. But we are going backwards. And of course, you have these folks who say, actually, we're getting socialism. No, we're not getting socialism. A lot of millennials and, folks of my ilk wish we were getting the things that the Soviet Union had. We're not. We're not going to get that in this country. No. We are going backwards. We are going into a time when, fat cats are going to rule, and, we're going to have that sort of, of a system that really doesn't give a shit about us. And, conservatives, I mean, other than the conservatives that make a ton of money, people like, Sean Hannity, this and that, are not going to profit from it. The way, why I feel the way I do is that, yeah, I grew up and I, at least I thought of myself as somebody who worked hard. I don't know. It's a matter of opinion, according to people. You think you work hard. Other people will say, oh, no, he's a lazy bum. Because that's how folks are. The idea of work ethic is a very subjective thing. But, I started to work hard, but then, you think of doing something a certain way, and then they say, no, why don't you just do it this way? Why don't you just sit back and wait? And they were right. Why don't you just sit back and wait? Why do you have to go out there and rush into it? Just accept it as it is. There's that feeling of take care of yourself. This very every man for themselves sort of attitude. It is individualist. It is, but it's not quite as Ayn Randian sort of, we want to hurt people that, get in our way. No, it's just more of a sense of, I'm not going to stick my neck out for people. That's what exists. So I feel the way I do about this society because I don't like what we have now. And I know when I go back out into the job market, I'm going to have to play that game. Wherever I go, I'm going to have to play by somebody else's rules and just say, yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And just, you keep your mouth shut and, you have to bend over to, get people to like you or whatever the case. I'm tired of trying to get people to like me, frankly. I'm just like, well, hell with it. I'll just leave, I'll make enough money to keep on to the next thing, I don't know. But I think that we just see that this system doesn't really benefit, this idea of, if you keep working hard, then, you're going to make it. It's not true. Just simply isn't true. Because the fact is that, people also make their deals. They also may marry royalty, or they marry somebody that has some sort of power. You think, I mean, maybe I'm getting somewhat bread-tubey here, but it's like, look, there's a reason people become rich over others. They learn to play the game too. You don't just work hard and magically you're going to become a millionaire. No. Is you learn to meet the guidelines and you learn to continue to meet the criteria for keeping that money, as has been said before, it's like, you think Shaq can go out and buy, and, take out $1 million from the bank and it'll be okay? No, he can't do that. And it's the same type of thing with, I don't know, whoever else, I mean, outside of entertainment, which basketball is entertainment, in my opinion, you're actors, but, it's the same thing with someone like, I don't know, someone like, I was going to say Elon Musk, but that's the easier one, or whoever else. But it's just like these folks learn to give lip service to certain ideas, but they don't actually care about them. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I think at the end of the day is you can blame, and I have blamed in these videos, I think, to a bit, the boomers or whoever else. But regardless, is that, something's got to give somewhere, sometime. We can't just keep going like this. We can't. You can't keep getting kicked to the curb and being 36 years old like me, living at home with your parents. You can't live your life like that. It shows that you've surrendered. Or, maybe you're 36 and you got 2 kids and I don't know, you're living out there getting drunk all day or something. I don't know. You're a functional alcoholic. Is that a way to live a life? I don't know. Maybe I've just been doing too much thinking, but it's just one of those realities. It's one of those things where you realize that you're at a lot of different crossroads and you feel conflicted about various interests. You may seem somewhat conservative in the sense that, yeah, you wish that people would stay married and have kids, but realizing that that's not your life. I realize it's never going to be in my life. I don't say that as cope. I just say it as reality. I don't say it as poor little me. I just say it as, I made my choices. I don't blame anybody for it. I shouldn't anyway. I don't have the energy to blame other people. I just have just enough energy for when something screws up, I'll just say, yeah, okay, I'll just blame myself and we'll move on. That's how I feel. When I see something like that, it's like, oh, okay, I blame myself. Let's move on. That's all I can do at this point, I'm somewhat optimistic, but I'm just fairly numb, just like a lot of folks are, I think. And regardless of how you feel, you can have a dislike for the conservatives and for the folks that continue to say free market is great, but then will surrender on so many points. But you can also disagree with the LARPy anarchists or the LARPy whoever, the LARPers of the so-called revolution who think that they're going to, take over and, create some free society. They're both full of shit. I guess that's centrism. I don't know, but that's how I feel. Just, sitting on that fence. That's how I felt for a long time in my life. You just walking that tightrope of realizing it's like, I don't like these motherfuckers. I don't like these, That's why I said in the past videos, it's like, I'd rather be a gun runner. I'd rather join folks that are more just don't give a shit about politics in general. It's just like they just want to make money. And me, there's honesty in that. I don't know. Maybe that's cringe to think that, but anyways, this is one of those, another long video, and it's at 8:30. It's not even at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if it'll be any good. Oh well, hopefully y'all enjoyed that one. See you later, and goodbye.